Welcome on another rooftop tutorial. Today telling you a little bit more about arm positions. Yes, this is really not easy when you are at an early stage of your dance journey and you want to try to get your arms in a nice position. Very often what happens is you're doing something and then your arms kind of get stuck. Well, yes, you have to think of so much because you have the steps, you have the hips, you have the shimmies, you have the mayas, you have the shoulders, and you have so many things to think of. At an early stage of your dance journey, it really is a tough one. As I said in the introduction, the most things that happen because students that are learning how to belly dance are so preoccupied with what to do with the hips, what to do with the shoulders, what to do with the steps, that they are completely lost when it comes to arms. Obviously, they are copying their teacher, or they are trying to copy the teacher. So what very often happens is like, oh, they're in the middle of a sequence, the arms get just forgotten, or the arms have reached a certain position and then they end up nowhere. So here is what my 25 years of teacher experience has actually brought. One of the things that I will highly recommend you never do is to forget your arms. You don't have to tell them to do something complicated, but don't forget them. And what I mean by don't forget is this. So you do this, you're actually learning to do your shimmies. They look absolutely great, but your arms, no time to think of it. So that's what I would suggest. There's a very small visual that I like to use when it comes to the arms. Imagine you have a balloon under your armpit. So it's basically filling this gap. So your basic position is a little bit open. So that's the first thing. Never let your arms hang down. So we add some air. And now, the hands, what do? I just keep them. I don't let them hang, so not as if they are water drops hanging, but I give them a small nick with the wrist, so they get a small position like this. So that would be your basic position. There are two more important things. One is your chest is lifted, but you know that because that's part of the basic position. And the other thing is, where do I position my hands? What I very often observe is this. And fair enough, this is an easy position because you can relax your hands, you can even make like this, and then you can do your things. But it is not very nice. So the position of the hands is actually about the back of on your bum if you want, okay? So let's keep that as an explanation. What happens when you position your hands a little bit further back, did you see what happens to my chest? Yes, it also comes out. So I position my arms slightly at the back, and when you see me dance, it's gonna go like this, all right? So I have resolved my shoulder, my posture, and I have my hands in a very nice place. And you know why it's important a little bit back? Imagine I dance like this. The fact that I have my hands at the back, you will see my hips. If I have them here, my hips have disappeared. So that is my first recommendation. Do as little as possible, but keep them in a very nice posture. There are a couple more positions which are relatively easy. You blow your balloon a little bit bigger and you keep them on the side, but not like this and not like that. So again here, wrist movement, position them, and here you have your position. All right? There's another thing which is quite cute. It's like this. And if you've noticed, I turned my wrist to up. So I have this thread that is pulling my arm up. Shoulders are low, and again here my chest is able to be nicely positioned, and here we are. And while dancing, I have the possibility to turn my wrist, so I have a double jackpot. So we are basic position, then I change and I can put sideways, I take it a little bit higher, and I close. You see, the only thing I did was turn my wrist. So really, I would now allow myself to say, it is really simple. Again, down at the back. I'm gonna call this 5 o'clock. I'll call this 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock. And this is 10 o'clock to finish at midnight. So now anything between these positions are things you can do, including coming forward. But fair enough. Why don't you keep your life simple? Choose one of those, and once you're comfortable with the movement, because that's where it is all about. So let's say I do a basic step with shimmy. If I'm comfortable with my step, comfortable means I don't have to think of it anymore, then I can change my arm. I can tell my arm to do something different, or I end up in a flat shimmy. But the point is not to get stuck anywhere in the middle. So if you go up with your arms, just make sure that when they come back in a very nice way, which means either along your body. I call this a pillar, an Egyptian pillar. So I have my hands that come like I'm wearing my earphones. I'm coming down along my body and not with the hands in the front, so slightly at the back, forward, back to my position. So that's my arm journey. Again, I go up, and then when I come down, I'm going to make steps forward to make it a little bit more interesting. First position, shoulder breast position, and hip position. Yeah, so this is an idea. Keep it simple. So learn to open your chest, be present, be there, and focus on your movement until you're comfortable to move your arms without too much thinking. All right? That was for the rooftop tutorial today. I hope you have fun practicing and you try to think of one or the other advice. It might work for you. And I'm so looking forward to seeing you on the following rooftop tutorial. Have a great day and happy dancing.